There are currently at least 5 bills filed on Beacon Hill addressing possible health hazards of using wireless devices. For several years, Cece Doucette has been researching the risks associated with Wi-Fi. She sat down with our Carolee McGrath to talk about those concerns.
This session, Senator Spilka has reintroduced the bill, but under her own name, not by constituent request.
And tell us about that bill specifically.
So that bill would bring the bright minds together at the table at the state level and get pediatricians, school committee members, environmental doctors. Regular doctors have not been trained on the biological hazards of wireless radiation, so it's important that we use people who have that skill set. We have written language into the bill that the folks who serve cannot have a conflict of interest with the telecommunications, energy or utility, or technology companies, so that we really get people on the table who are going to speak about this issue with truth and review the evidence base, not the industry-funded studies, but the independent, non-industry funded science, which says
on the dangers of
wireless radiation. So folks have mostly heard about cell phones and that it could cause cancer, and that came out in the 90s. But the industry was very effective at suppressing evidence of harm around that. What has not made it into mainstream media is that we don't only have to worry about cancer, DNA damage, heart issues. We have to look at the infertility issues, because people are carrying these devices right in their pants pockets, and there are study upon study showing it affects sperm, the motility, it affects the quantity of sperm that's viable.
But that's what this commission specifically would be
to look
looking
at all the non-industry funded science and then decide what we're going to do to educate and protect the public.
Okay, there's another bill that would deal with what schools would look at as far as wireless in the schools. Tell us about that one.
That's from Representative Carolee McGrath. Folks may know that there's a federal lawsuit at the Fay School in Southborough. It's a very prestigious private school, and there are children there who have become ill since the industrial strength routers have been in and then upgraded. And what this bill would do would be to assign the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education to look at this issue and see how we can protect our children. And the message is absolutely not no technology, but safe technology. And once you get your mind around that, the solution's really easy. Hardwire and turn off the Wi-Fi. The hardwired connections are so much faster, they're more secure, and they're safer, because we won't have 30 devices with access points on the ceiling with kids' cell phones all emitting the sea of microwave radiation.
Everybody has a phone. Everybody, and forget the screen time part of it, just the fact that you have to check an email, you're getting a text from maybe your son at school, you want to check your bank account very, very quickly. So everybody is attached to these phones, and when you say there could be a danger, it's sort of like, please don't tell me that. This is so necessary.
I get it. I circled my tail for several months when I first started learning about this, thinking surely somebody's got our back on this, but the FCC has been run of late by industry representatives, and Harvard University put out a wonderful report on that called Captured Agency. If folks just Google Harvard Captured Agency, that report will pop up. But there are solutions, and it's not no technology. If we knew what that fine print said and we thought about it, we could just put our phones in airplane mode when we don't actually having to be sending and receiving data. When you put it in airplane mode, it turns off the antenna for the cellular, it turns off the other antenna for Bluetooth, it turns off the third antenna for Wi-Fi and for data, and there's also a locator antenna in there. So every little device you have has 5 different antennas constantly looking to make a handshake with the nearest router or cell tower. We don't need that all the time. We need to take a step back and say, let's use it when it's necessary, not as our go-to place when we have nothing better to do.
Certainly a lot of developments
Yes.
Over the course of the year. Thank you so much, Cece, for coming in and bringing us up to date.
Thank you for having me, Carolee.